Hello children. So today we will start new chapter 7, that is combustion. And in this chapter the various contents which we will study, they are as follow. First we will do the introduction of the chapter, where you will know what is combustion, what are fuels, examples of fuels, right? Then we will do the conditions required for combustion. What are various conditions which are essential for combustion? Then we will do the types of combustion. Then fire control. Then we will do the flame, its various zones of flame, its diagrammatic representation also, and parts of the each zone of the flame. Then second last we will do fuel and its characteristics, and last topic we will do the harmful effects of fuels. Okay, so let me take one by one. First we will start with the introduction of the chapter. You should know what is combustion first of all. So before coming to the main topic, you know that what are fuels, right? Like the fuels are what means they are the substances which produce heat and light on burning. They are called fuels, right? For example, wood, coal, coke, kerosene, all these will come under the fuels. Now you know some are materials means which produce flame. Some materials they produce flame on burning, okay, and some do not produce flame on burning. For example, you have seen the candle, and you have seen the candle that it produces flame on burning. So we will discuss now here about the various means the chemical processes which are involved favor the burning of that flame, burning of the candle, and means combustible substances and types of flame and all. Now what is combustion and what are combustible materials? Okay, combustion and what are combustible materials? So combustion is what? Simply a chemical process in which substance burns in air with oxygen and produce heat and light energy. That process is called combustion. And the materials which undergo combustion, right, which will undergo combustion, they are called the combustible materials, combustible substance, or simply we can say the fuel. Okay, now here they can catch fire easily. Combustible materials, they can catch fire easily, and they can be solid, liquid, or gaseous fuels which will undergo combustion. Okay, now conditions required for combustion. Various conditions required for combustion. First of all, very important, that is the supply of oxygen. Simple activity is given in the book, like if you are having you just only place one candle in open place. Okay, then what you will observe? After, first of all, you will take a candle and then with the help of matchstick lit it, then it will keep on burning as it is and start producing the flame. It will keep on burning as it is because this is getting proper supply of oxygen. Now what you will do, if after some time you will place any inverted like jar here, okay, and this space is open but still oxygen is means the entering, okay, what you will observe in this setup, what you will observe, there will be the interrupted, okay, interrupted supply of oxygen. So means there will be the blinking like fluctuations in the flame. That will not be as it was in the earlier case, as it can freely means they can produce a flame in open space with proper oxygen. So here is oxygen but still not sufficient oxygen, we can say, right? In third case, what you will do, you will just place a completely closed chamber here, completely inverted jar that is closed from all the sides. What you will observe, for fraction of second it will burn. Why for fraction of second? Because here will be oxygen earlier that is trapped here in the chamber. After that, immediately this candle, it will stop burning. It will stop burning. It will not burn now. So means, what does it mean? Because there is no oxygen. So we can say that oxygen is very important condition for the combustion. Then another thing, that the combustible substance, that is important. Okay. First of all, material which we want to which we will take for combustion, that should be there. So means presence of combustible substance is important first. Second, oxygen. Third important factor we will discuss, that is the temperature. Okay. Now I'm now coming towards the temperature. So you have noticed, students, that if we burn a simple paper, dry paper, without any water, okay, with the help of matchstick, immediately it burns. Okay. If we take a wood, it will take some time for burning, right? Means a piece of paper will burn quickly when we will brought any matchstick near to that dry piece of paper. But on the other hand, immediately this wood cannot burn, right? These are our common experiences which we usually encounter in day-to-day life, which we feel in our daily observations. Now, the lowest temperature, okay, the lowest temperature at which any substance burns or catches fire, we can say more specifically, that is called ignition temperature, or we can say the kindling temperature, LING, kindling temperature. Okay, the lowest temperature, minimum temperature we can say, which is required. If the temperature exceed the minimum value, mean it will be higher than the lowest temperature, then it's okay. But if temperature is less than the ignition temperature, that substance will not produce flame. Okay, that will not catch fire. So ignition temperature or kindling temperature is the minimum temperature required by any substance to catch fire. Right? Now we can take simple examples to explain this effect of temperature. First of all, you can observe, if you take a simple paper cup, okay, paper cup, and we can fill it with water, and if we are using a simple burner, okay, and that water will start boiling, and this paper will not burn. What does it mean? It means the heat is absorbed by this and transferred to the water molecules, but ignition temperature of the paper is less. Ignition temperature is very less, means this paper will not burn rapidly, because ignition temperature of this paper, that is not achieved, and hence it will not catch fire. Okay, means the heat supplied to the paper cup, that will pass to water, and that heat is not sufficient to reach the ignition temperature of this paper cup, so it will not burn, right? Simple observations you have observed, like the pans, kitchen utensils. We are using so many kitchen utensils in our kitchens for cooking purposes, but immediately when we put them on the flame, they will not catch fire. Why? Because their ignition temperature is higher, very, very more. So they will not catch the fire, and heat is gradually transferred to the substance that is placed inside the cooking utensil. Right? Second example we can observe, like white phosphorus. White phosphorus, don't get confused, white phosphorus is different, and red phosphorus that is placed on the matchsticks, that is different. White phosphorus is having the ignition temperature, means the 35 degrees Celsius. Means if we just place white phosphorus in open, like in summer, like nowadays, the temperature, when the temperature is more than 35, means it will immediately start burning by own if we just place it in open. Okay, because oxygen is there sufficient, ignition temperature is also exceeding here, so it will start burning the conditions essential for combustion. Three are here. We have combustible substance, we have proper supply of oxygen, and we have the ignition temperature accordingly. So means it will start immediately catching the fire and it will burn rapidly, right? Similarly, matchstick, you have seen matchstick, there is red phosphorus. Now when we rub this over that particular rough surface of the matchbox by striking, when we strike this, it will produce the fire. Okay, why? Because by rubbing we are creating there the friction, we are increasing there the temperature, and we are increasing their temperature. By increasing the temperature of this red phosphorus, it will reach the ignition value, it will reach the ignition point, the temperature required for burning, and it will start producing the fire. Okay, similarly, when we just lit off the candle, if we have placed the candle in open, and immediately if we just blow air strongly by our mouth, it will stop, it will lit off. Okay, it will immediately lit off, this flame will lit off. Why? We are giving oxygen, so it should burn more rapidly. But why? Because by forcefully giving air here, what we are doing? We are lowering the temperature. Okay, we are lowering the temperature, ignition temperature, and all the conditions are essential for burning. Temperature should be optimum, ignition, oxygen should be, substance should be. But here what we are doing? We are forcefully, means when we are forcefully just giving air here via our mouth, then this candle will lit off, because we are lowering indirectly the ignition temperature of that particular flame. So all these are the common examples, experiences which we can observe in day-to-day life, right? Now, types of the conditions. So we have discussed all the conditions here. Very essential means combustible substance presence should be there. Factors essential for combustion: first of all, the presence of combustible substance; second, proper supply of oxygen; and third, ignition temperature. Okay, now we will do next topic, that is the types of combustion. So usually we will study here the four types of. First what we will take? First will be slow combustion, second will be rapid combustion, third will be spontaneous combustion, and last will be the explosive. Okay, explosive combustion: slow, rapid, then spontaneous, and explosive. We will take one by one here. First I will take now the slow combustion. In slow combustion, first I will take the slow combustion. In slow combustion means that material, combustible material, it will burn very slowly at a very moderate rate. Okay, that is called a slow combustion. Why? Because there is insufficient oxygen supply. Common example, you have seen the cow dung cakes. Okay, cow dung cakes which people commonly use in rural areas because they are available to them. So they are using cow dung cakes for burning, for cooking purpose, also for any other purpose. But what you can observe there, they will start burning, but they will produce lot of smoke. And why? Because proper burning is not there. Why proper burning is not there? Sufficient oxygen is not there. So that is called the slow combustion. Then will come the second one. We will take the second, that is rapid combustion. In rapid combustion means very fast. Rapid, as the name indicates, very fast. So here combustible substance, it burns up to last and produce heat and flame. That is called rapid combustion. And you have commonly seen this rapid combustion in the gaseous fuels. Gaseous fuels, common example, compressed natural gas, which we are using in our vehicles. Here not, but I have discussed with you, like in Delhi, public transport completely just run on the CNG, compressed natural gas. So this is example of the gaseous fuel. and it will burn rapidly. That will come under the rapid combustion. Okay, because here is sufficient of oxygen supply. Third we will take now, that is the spontaneous. Okay, spontaneous means by own, immediately. When we keep any substance, okay, it will start catching fire immediately, even at the room temperature. That is called the spontaneous combustion. Okay, then I have given example of this, like the white phosphorus earlier. You can cite here this example. Then will be the explosive. Explosive, as a name indicate, explosion will be there, cracking sound will be there. So we can study this in the crackers. We can observe this in the crackers. Okay, you have used the crackers during the Diwali, so you can see there is type of combustion. There is the immediate very fast reaction between the combustible material and air when we just bring any burning flame near any flame near that particular cracker. So means there is a mixture of combustible material and air, and completely it will burn very strongly with a cracking sound. That is called the explosive combustion. Okay, when we ignite any cracker, sudden reaction will be there and it will produce heat, light and sound. That's why this is called the explosive combustion. So this is about the types of the combustion: slow, rapid, slow, spontaneous and the explosive combustion. Okay, now clear all these things by reading by own 2 times after watching the video. And one more topic I will take here now, that is the fire control. Fire control, how we can. So we have discussed earlier that the fire will takes place only when there will be combustible material, there will be oxygen, there will be temperature higher than the ignition temperature. So means all these are conditions for the fire. But if any one of these condition is not satisfied, if any one condition we cannot fulfill, means, as I have given you example, when we lit off the candle by blowing air strongly by our mouth. If we do not fulfill any one condition, then what will happen? Then we can cut that supply of that particular factor condition, and fire will not be there, right? So means we have to take precautions for fire control. We can take certain precautions, right? So means if we talk about the petrol stations, that is highly combustible substance. Okay, petrol is highly combustible substance. So if we talk about the petrol stations, so proper precaution should be taken there. There no one should be allowed to take any burning material with that closed premises of that place, right? Even burning matchstick, that's why there is written strictly smoking is not allowed here, because a burning matchstick can ignite the petrol vapors. You know, petrol is a volatile substance, so petrol vapors will be there in the petrol stations, and if we will bring any matchstick there burning, it will cause great, means the hazard there, explosion can be there. So precaution should be taken. Similarly, we should take the precaution in the LPG godowns, liquefied petroleum gas, firecracker factories also, like all these things. Care should be taken while placing the candles or flame near that particular place. So all these precautions we should take for the fire control. And once the fire has started, how we can stop it? Now question arises, if it started, how we can stop it? So first of all, we should cut the supply of oxygen. Okay, cut supply of oxygen, right? Means it will lower the temperature of the combustible substance. For example, you have seen the clothes of a person, they will catch fire. If synthetic clothes will be there, they will immediately catch the fire. So if fire is there, then what we should do? Immediately we should wrap a thick blanket around the body. It will cut off the supply of air, and we can stop the fire. Similarly, we can also, sometimes sand can also be used to cut off the supply of oxygen. Sand, okay? Sand can also be used to cut off the supply of air in the case of the fire produced by kerosene and fire, it can be stopped by using the sand. Okay, water commonly, which is our common method used. Water, obviously it will also lower the temperature. We can pour the water on the burning material. Okay, so it will also stop the fire. So all these the precautions, and if the all these are the steps which we can take if the any this type of fire is there. So means the what happens when there is incomplete combustion. And now incomplete combustion, what will be there? Means that there will be the, if incomplete combustion is there, then there will be the unburnt carbon. Unburnt carbon. Okay, so that will produce in the atmosphere, it will cause the air pollution. Similarly, also carbon monoxide will be produced, that is poisonous gas, and it will cause the respiratory problems. Okay, so with this, next we will do in the next class, live class or in the video. So till this, do the reading and then clear the concept. Okay, thank you.